Today, we are going over the Gen Z retirement myths. The Z generation. Funny enough, my generation. Gen Z typically has some strong misconceptions of retirement investing and investing in general. This is very unfortunate because investing and the power of compound interest for this young generation is very, very important. The first myth I'm going over today is that they all say, oh, why would I invest right now? I have plenty of time to invest when I'm older or even just a few years from now. This may be one of the largest misconceptions of all. As soon as you find out about this and the power of the compounding interest, you need to get on it as soon as possible and start investing, especially for young people, people I know, and other friends. I'm in my 20s. The power of compound interest on every single dollar I save and invest is exponential. The second misconception we're covering today is I only live once. I'm going to live for now, and I'm not going to worry about my investments or my future retirement. This is very unfortunate because, like I had previously said, the dollar for these young people is going to be so much larger in the future if they invest it, that they will miss out on such a large return. Of course, there does need to be a balance between living for today and also preparing for the future, because you want to be able to retire with dignity and have everything taken care of, and you will be of the age where you really want to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. And preparing now will set you up to do so. And doing this when you're young really doesn't take a whole lot of money versus if you start later on, which we will go over. The third myth I'm going to cover today is, isn't investing just like gambling? This is also a large misconception. It can be like gambling if you're doing individual stocks and just choosing them out of the blue with no research. But there are so many well-versed index funds, and you could just buy the S&P 500 and be perfectly fine. Even just doing that is a much better approach and will yield you better returns than keeping cash, and definitely better than doing nothing at all. Plus, the S&P 500 or the United States stock market has averaged between 8.5% and 10.5% for the past 100 years. Yes, this is a long-term goal, and I always say long-term investing is better anyway. Long-term investing especially is definitely less risky, especially if your long-term is 10, 20, 30, maybe even 40 years depending on your age. This is almost a guaranteed strategy over that long time period to gain the 8.5, 10.5, and some years maybe even more percentage on your money. And like I've previously mentioned, if you do the individual stocks and just pick something that you think you enjoy without doing a whole lot of research, that is definitely similar to gambling, because no one has a crystal ball and you do not know what it's going to do. Okay, now we are going to go over some numbers. If you're Generation Z and you just graduated college and you started your career, the first step would be to take your employer 401k match. On this example, I'm going to use $75,000 as a median income. What I have seen is that 5% is the average when it comes to employer match on the 401k plan. 5% of $75,000 is $312 per month. And if you have that 5% match, it is another $312. This brings you to $624.25 if you count the change dollars per month, just coming from your contributions and your employer's contributions into your 401k. This $625 a month for the next 40 years, considering we take the average retirement age of 65 at a 9% return, can gain you $2.6 million. That is definitely a significant amount of money today. It may not be the absolute most you could do, but it is definitely something that will be able to pay all of your bills, keep you comfortable, and allow you to do what you would like to do. Now, if we also contribute to our Roth IRA every single year at $7,000 per year, this breaks down to about $583 a month. And if we add that to our $625 total 401k contributions, this comes out to $1,208 per month. Now you may be thinking, holy moly, $1,200 a month just in investments? I don't even know if I pay that in rent or on my mortgage. The biggest thing that helps you out here is that extra $312 coming from your employer. But if somehow we manage to do this, it comes out to $5 million over a 40-year career at 9% return. And of course, take these numbers how you will. Depending on how much you contribute, it will either be less or it'll be way more. Or if you're not doing this at 25 years old, that'll give you the 40-year range to 65 years old to be able to contribute all of this and make this amount of money. You may have to contribute more, especially if you're older, to reach the same dollar amounts. I really hope that seeing this has sparked something inside of you and has helped kind of the understanding of how important it is to prepare for retirement at no matter what age you are. And you may think, it'll never come, or I don't even know if I'll live until then. But we can't take that chance, because if you go that far and you make it there, you will be asking yourself questions like, what happened? Where did the time go? And why don't I have any money to retire? We don't want to be asking ourselves these questions later on. We want to be as prepared as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you have any ideas or concepts that you want me to cover or any questions, please comment down below and I'll be happy to answer them or even make a full video on them. And always remember, subscribe for more traditional wealth tips.